Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, a rescue cat, rescue guinea pigs, who has gone back to school to learn ASL, to be a certified interpreter, who likes to craft in her spare time. I don't know the sign. Don't know the sign for spare time. And is trying to train for Iron Man. Now, if it was Marvel comic Iron Man, this is a sign for Iron Man. But that is not the Iron Man I am training for, no. That said, it would be really cool to be that Iron Man. So who knows what I'm doing. The cord, the dog is sitting on my cord, and that's why it's causing my computer to beep to let me know that the connection is weak. Uh-huh. Yep, welcome to my world. Good, did I tell you? 4 crazy rescue dogs who all like to be little Velcro dogs. So, welcome back to my show. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could really use that. And if you are returning, you already know the crazy you're in for. So grab a drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. While I'm before I go any further, just so you all know, the boy child is over there cooking. He is making sushi bowls for himself to take to work. Last time he did this, he added a bunch of stuff to his rice, which made it pretty nasty, in my opinion. I think that's where he went wrong. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see. Um, you know, my tendency when I make sushi or egg roll in a bowl or anything with rice like that, if I'm not already using like it, don't come at me. Don't come at me. If I'm not using an Uncle Ben's box of fried rice or leftovers from a restaurant of some sort, or I have a bag of what's called kimchi rice that I got at Whole Foods that has some kick to it. If I'm not using something like that, I generally don't add much to my sushi rice. I may add just a little bit of rice wine vinegar. But other than that, I leave it how it is. Why? First of all, in case you haven't noticed, I am of the Caucasian persuasion, and we are noted for not seasoning things. Now, I will season the heck out of everything else, but my rice ain't one of them. At that point, at rice I tend to be very Caucasian about. Sorry, I just am. That beeping's gonna drive me bonkers. Um, and that would be the biggest thing about sushi rice and why I don't season it. So, we may hear questions from the boy child as we film, and that's okay. You'll just get to enjoy him as much as I do. So, this past week, let's see, it was kind of busy. It's been kind of busy. We had a migraine that is just, it is the migraine that keeps on giving. Um, because the weather here in Michigan has been a little crazy. And the barometric pressure changing. Sorry, my ADHD is really bad right now. Here's a towel for the stove to put on the handle. It's a dish towel. You can put it on the stove so that I have one when I need to dry my hands going forward. So it's been causing my head to be just a nightmare. I have officially submitted my application for graduation. I'm waiting on one more grade. It looks like in that class I'm going to end up with a B plus. I'm kind of bummed in myself because I think it would have been an A minus, but my very first project, I ended up, I was a little bit late, so she didn't count part of it. And then one of these other ones, she changed the form, and I didn't realize that when I cut and paste it, that there was still, it's my own fault. There was still a section underneath, so I lost some points there. A B plus is still fine. It's just, when I'm this close to being magna cum laude versus cum laude, every grade matters. Because I only have 3 more classes that I'm taking before graduation. So yeah. Update on the dog situation. We still don't have vet records from the dog that bit my friend while as we were going for feedback for our internship. I really think at this point she's not gonna get it until we sue. I think she just needs to sue. And I have already reached out to a lawyer friend of mine who handles dog bite cases because that's not something I do. And I mean, I guess technically she could just, and we've been kicking it around, just having her file in small claims court. So far, my friend is out about $200 in medications and copays. I think that number is going to rise. And I don't think she should be out of her pocket. Not for the situation. So we shall see. Let's see what else. I'm saying a lot, and that's not like me, I don't think, but whatever. Friday, I had the nerve ablation on my back. I ended up asking for some Valium ahead of time, and that certainly did help. Although one of the probes wasn't working, so my procedure ended up being a little longer because the one probe wasn't working, and they had to go back in with a different probe to burn out those nerves. So yay me! Yay me! So the boy child is and Bella and Bean are still working on the floor. It's kind of driving me nuts because I keep getting promised it will get done, but then it does. We've got a lot of excuses why it's not getting done. I went and bought a new replacement saw blade to the circ saw, and we bought the wrong one. So it's also annoying. I would really like to have it done before the end of August. So that, yeah. Yeah. If it's not done by the end of August, I may be having a lot of very strong words with the other people in this house. I got Bean's financial aid for the summer is all straightened out, thank goodness. So she's able to register, but right now, because she only got a C in English, because we don't turn in work, so why would we get higher grades? She may have to retake English before she can take any more most classes in our program. And the other class that she could take, there's a waiting list now for it. A little frustrated. Just a little bit frustrated. And we're still waiting on one of her grades, but she did pass with above a C plus in her other class. I have been taking seminars online. And it was funny, yesterday I was in a seminar online. It was like a 5.5 hour day online, which is very tiring. And when you've been battling migraines, not always the most fun. But 2 cups I think is plenty. You didn't even use all. 2 cups of water for 1 cup. Yes. Um, so yesterday in the class was my one professor, and then one of the ladies who taught a seminar that I took, I think last fall. And it was funny because I messaged her. I'm like, "Oh my God, it's so good to see you!" And because on Zoom you can still private chat the people in the room. And I was like, yeah, really strange question. When you were teaching, you wore this wonderful like poncho thing, right? Did you make that? Because I have been like thinking about this poncho ever since your class. And she laughed and she goes, "No, Amazon." And she sent me the link for it. It's like a $26 thing. It's it's so cute on her. I don't know if I'm going to look like the swamp witch in it, but on her it was totally cute. And she had it with like a brooch or something here. And that's the other thing. I feel horrible. My professor, as an end of the semester gift last week, out of ceramic, made each of our first letter and finger spelling out of ceramic, and she had them all glazed, and they were really pretty. And it broke because my stupid ass put it in the wash machine. Um, so now I feel horrible, and now I was gonna put a pin back on it so that I could wear it, even though it would be it's awkward because the fingers stuck out. So she suggested making them into a magnet and putting it like on your fridge, and that probably would have been better. Now I don't have that issue. So I have been cleaning. I have been getting rid of things, believe it or not. And I have been working on my whip go goals. Oh, here's the other thing. 2 things. So remember a while back, um, I bought the Elmo nail polish at Ulta. Well, Jasmine didn't realize that I bought it, and she bought me a bottle as well. And I put it on. Can you all see that? Like, I never wear nail polish. But then I also put the Bert and Ernie is the blue and the yellow flecks. I put a coat of that on it, and I'm loving it. If you only put one coat on, it's really, really subtle. So, it's super cute. But I never wear nail polish. So this is totally bizarre. So that's what I did for Friday. That was my treat yourself because nerve ablations on your lower back hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't matter. And again, I'm still in awe. And I did discuss it with him ahead of time. Like, dude, why does my male counterpart in Wisconsin get completely put under? And I have to just breathe through it usually. And he's like, "We don't sedate you?" And I was like, "No, no, I get lidocaine shots in my back." And that's it. And he goes, "Well, part of the reason is I need you to be able to converse with me and tell me, like, is the pain going down so they know that they're in the right spot." I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." I said, "But this whole breathing through it with just some lidocaine, that ain't cutting it." And he's like, "How about we give you some Valium?" I'm like, "Yeah, how about we do that?" So we did. That makes it much, much better. The only thing is then you definitely need a driver, obviously, afterwards. So, yeah. So, I have court tomorrow. I hope, please, 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 fingers crossed, um, that it goes in our favor. This is not a family court decision. This is actually a civil matter. So, fingers crossed that it goes in our favor. And then I'm filing, I have to finish up a motion, and then we should be filing 2 cases tomorrow as well. And hoping that the third case comes in this week. And yeah, that would be really, really good. So, um, what else? What else? I don't know. I think that's about it. I after Tuesday we're having like a panel discussion, so pretty low key for class. I had hoped that I was gonna make banana bread today, but that didn't happen so far. Um, that may happen tomorrow after court. I mean, usually after I have a big court motion, and especially knowing that I've got to file these other two motions the same day, usually like I need some downtime with my brain, so I may bake tomorrow night. That may happen. This is the first time that I'm not able to, that I can't find a driver to take the boy child to work, and so he's gonna have to Uber to work, and I feel bad about that, but there's nothing I can do. Um, it is what it is. So, okay. So where are we at as far as things? Let's start off with a few. I have a finish. I do. It's super, super exciting. I actually got a lot of stitching done. The other thing is that, and I very much appreciate Jean trying to walk me through how to like crochet up. Um, that wasn't work. I couldn't figure out because I think if this had been a single color, I would have been able to figure it out. But because of the grafting, that's not going to work. So for my brain at this point. But Jessica before has said, "Hey, why don't you put in a lifeline and rip it back to like the solid black and then go back," which would mean I would lose like 5 rows. Not a big deal in the grand scheme of where I'm at. So I have started. I hope I videoed it. I YouTubed how to put it in a lifeline because I've never done that. So I hope I'm doing this right. You're supposed to pick up the right leg of each knit. So I hope I'm right, because if I'm not, at that point, I think then my only option will either be to send it to Jessica or to Jane with a bucket of my tears and begging, or it will be to completely start over. And I'm not sure that I have the brain power. At that point, I think I will absolutely cry. So we're working on that. But you got to realize that I've got to then find in black yarn, I've got to find the right leg on 438 stitches. 438? 448 stitches. That's a lot. So the boy child just asked me, what does that even mean with the right leg? So I don't know if you guys are okay, so see how it's the little V? That's one stitch. So you have to pick up the right side of this of the leg of that V. So that's where I'm at. That said, I think I do have all 448 stitches. I think I have managed to pick up and have on the needles, or on now. I don't think I initially have dropped any. So when I rip back, but I tried to figure out the mess in the back with, okay, is it, where am I on the graph for each of the ones that were like completely off, and I could like, and were kind of mangled, and I couldn't like, I couldn't figure them out. I'll be honest, I couldn't figure it out. Okay, so, oh, and I have Hull and Stitchy Kindness, which is very exciting. It's not really Hull. Both of mine are Stitchy Kindness. I know. I take that back. I do have Hull, but it's not very exciting because it's just floss. Okay, so the first one is for Michelle. Michelle, I am sorry, I forget your Instagram. She had stitched this, and I showed her finish to William, and he was like, "That's really cute." Now, the boy child is not one who normally looks at my patterns, especially Halloween things, and goes, "Oh, that's really cute." This one he did. So I posted on there. I was like, "Look, if you're looking..." That is true. the boy child does that more than Bella. This is true. So I posted on her thing that it was really cute, and if she was looking to sell her pattern or even loan it, I would be interested. And she's like, absolutely. I will send it to you. What's your address? And she did. And the only deal is that when I'm done with it, that I'm going to pay it forward. So one of you, once I'm done with this, and that is not today, I have not even started it. I will do this as a giveaway. But how cute is he? Are they? So I've got to track down the buttons. I will probably do it in the DMC. Honestly, it's charted in Gentle Arts and a few weeks dye works and even a Crescent Colors. But I will probably just do the DMC. The only one that I could see where like maybe it would make a difference is the owl and the pumpkin. So like his body and then the pumpkin head. But I don't know that that would make so much of a difference that I think the DMC will probably, I think the DMC is going to be great. So, I've got to kit up that. I haven't done that yet. And the other one is I won this lovely present from Denise at Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. Denise is wonderful, and her and I seem to win each other's prizes. It's great. I love that. I love that for us. Denise has a lot of giveaways, and if you're not watching, plus her Flosstube is fantastic. That woman works on so many projects. I am blown away, and they're always so cute. And she is such a wonderful person. So I won, and this is from It's So Emma. It's So Emma. At the Fat Quarter Shop. Denise does a lot of stuff from the Fat Quarter Shop. And she started to get into memorabilias, which I think is very fun. And she's going to the Queen City's retreat in Charlotte. Please stop, Lizzie. And I am super excited for her for that. So it is called Autumn Love. Okay. I may do some color conversions on this because I love these squirrels. My sorority mascot is a squirrel. But I don't know. I at the same time, I love these colors. And they would totally go in my house for fall. And be able to carry through my summer colors but still be fall. Because at first I was thinking maybe I'll change it so that it looks more like my sorority colors. Now that I'm thinking about it, no, I'm not. I'm not. The only thing I may change is the word autumn. But I don't know what I would change it to. I don't know. How cute is that? So, and then I won the needle minder. This is a heavy sucker. And here's the other part of that. I stitch in hand. So I don't use needle minders because I stitch in hand. So if you want the needle minder, which is fantastic, he's beautiful. I mean, that's a pretty birdie, and that is that's a good needle minder if you use needle minders. So if you use needle minders and you would like to win this, I will send this wherever. Go ahead and use the word crow. 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 And we will do a drawing, and I will give that to somebody who can use it more. But I'm keeping the pattern, sorry. And then Denise also included some lovely DMC, and Denise is also the one who gave me the idea to use like like if you buy like cereal in a box, to use the box, or like if you buy like cans of Coke, they come in the cardboard, to use those for your floss drops. And she has sent me some that I am telling you are fantastic. They're a great hefty, like they're a nice thickness where they're not too thick, but they are very strong and sturdy and hold up to a lot of yanking. So, just saying, the woman is smart and she knows what she's talking about, and she is just fantastic. So, thank you, Denise, for all of that. And again, do your thing with the word crow. So, what else have I been stitching on? I don't have any sewing. I showed you my knitting. I don't have any crochet. I did buy the yarn, finish buying all of the yarn to cast on the Totoro sweater for Bean. And then in my notebook, I went through like the sweaters that I want to do other than Totoro. So these are actually all for me. There's 7 sweaters here. Because I have this lofty notion that I'm going to have a whole drawer full of hand knit sweaters. So I have my list of yarns, so that usually what I do is I keep like a list of supplies that I may need, like whatever DMCs I may need or whatever. I keep that in my purse so that if I'm out and about and there's like, I don't know, I get the inkling to go someplace, I always have my list with me. That does not include plus the dress I want to crochet myself. I also have this lovely notion that I am going to have a whole box. I'm going to have a whole drawer full of hand knit socks. Now, here's the 2 things that's funny about that. Well, one thing really. I have a bunch of sock yarn already, so I don't need to buy any sock yarn. But I have only ever knit one sock. And the cuff, because I knit cuff down, cuff to toe, the cuff wasn't stretchy enough to really be wearable. So yeah. So that's a great goal. It's my one day project. One day. But not today. So, by the way, my shirt is proud member of the Wrinkly Mess Club. It is by I don't know if I've shared this with you. The young lady's name is Jordan. She has autism, and her mom run a t-shirt sticker shop. I found them on TikTok. They're also on Instagram. They usually do the Be Kind to Everyone shirts. And so one of the things is they started this company so that Jordan would have a job and be able to be independent. And it's taken off, and they're super comfortable shirts. Totally, you guys. And they're not real expensive. So you should totally go out. I'll pop her shop down below. So Jordan rolls the t-shirts and then she puts a bracelet around it. I know I told you guys this. Now that I'm saying this, I know I told you this before, but whatever. So somebody had said, "Oh, that would be horrible for a customer to get that wrinkled mess." And I was like, "Who cares? Because most of us wash our t-shirts anyways, and t-shirts don't really wrinkle that bad. So who cares?" Like, did you miss the message of the t-shirt? Clearly they had. So at which point they developed this shirt, and I thought it was funny. And the first time they sold out and I didn't get one, and I was really bummed, but then they got a restock and I got one. And now I love my shirt. I love my shirt. And I'm happy to be a proud member of the Wrinkly Mess Club because, some days we all are a wrinkly mess, and I'm okay with that. So, okay. So, what did I stitch on? You'll have to hang on because the boy child is looking at me. Okay. Can you hear me, Dad? Go. Okay. We went to bike night on Friday night. We took Oreo. Everybody loves my dog. He really was a good boy. They had a food truck. It was pretty good. It was a barbecue food truck. That was the only one that was left by the time we got there, which was fine. And we bought Oreo a piece of chicken. There was more chicken. There was more chicken for the dog than there was on Bella's chicken sandwich.
I still think this guy's funny.
It was funny. William tried to get me to join the bikini contest. Now,
I did not say that. I said I offered it to you.
Okay.
I did not.
He
ever,
offered if I wanted to join. Here's the thing.
Well, I'm supposed to offer
Okay.
to every girl that comes into the building.
I have bigger boobs than the girl who won by far. I have bigger boobs than most women do.
Yeah. Your boobs were probably 10 times bigger than the woman that won. At least.
But nobody needs to see my body in a bikini. And my son did not need to agree with that so readily fast because this body birthed that thing. So, okay. There you go. Okay, so before I forget, we did the 52 card whip pickup last week, and last week's card was Dreaming Girl. I don't know where my Dreaming Girl project bag is. I've looked for it. I don't know. So when I find Dreaming Girl, I'll put some time into Dreaming Girl. But for right now, it's not gonna happen. It didn't happen. But next week is the King of Spades. Oh, we have not seen this one in a while. This is a big ass project. I don't just stitch BAPs. I know that's hard to imagine, but I really don't. But it's the Disney Cell. I love this project. If you all remember, I restarted it and then I cut my fabric by accident. Oh, it still makes me cry. So one of the things I need to do is even out my fabric so that I don't have that constant reminder. But that extra fabric and the other chunk of it is what I'm going to use as the background for my mermaid Santa, because it will be glorious. So I can't show you Dreaming Girl. Can't. But what I did stitch on was Rosie. Rosie is now over 30% done. How glorious is she? She is so. I mean, you don't need to see the 310 over here. Where we put in the real work is over here. So much confetti is done. So I have been switching between doing chunks of color and then doing confetti and chunks of color and confetti. And that seems to like bring me joy and excitement about it. Plus, you could see so much detail. Like I love seeing this come to life. And the more I'm working on it, the more I'm seeing it come to life. And it just makes me want to work on her more and more and more. So the other thing is as I'm color completing colors, we have technical difficulties. What in the world? There we go. As I'm color completing colors, and then I went through my bag, and if they were on a floss drop, I added them to the ring, like I said. So I have my ring going. So that has enabled me to be able to put all of my flosses whew, that are a hot mess over here on one big ring. Should it probably be? Look, this is a 3-inch ring. And in searching Amazon, 3 inches is the biggest ring I can find. There's got to be bigger rings than this. I would really like to. 3 inch a 3-inch ring really covers probably 90% of my projects, as far as with all the flosses on it. I would like to be able. There's got to be a 5-inch ring somewhere, and I would like to get probably half a dozen 5-inch rings. I think that would make them lay just a little bit nicer. So I have been leaving Rosie out unless I go to leave and then I hide her because I am terrified that the Baskerville hounds will get her off the table and destroy her. And at which point I will have a complete an utter breakdown. Not going to lie. But how, she's just so magnificent. Like, I love this piece. So we will continue to work on Rosie. Um, all right, I'll show you this one. I didn't work much on it, so I tried because I would really like to have this done for Christmas. There's a couple pieces I would really like to have done for Christmas. I don't know how many of them I'll get done for this Christmas, but eventually they'll be done for Christmas. What Christmas? I guess I just need to be more specific. What I'm talking about is Monopoly. Um, I am changing it so that it is music related for my son. And so I got this square all filled in. This is what I think I'm just gonna leave in the Jeep. I'm to the point where um like honest this is a okay. I've tried to build my own floss drops. I tried out of the really thick chipboard. That's too much of a mess on the Cricut, and that's fine. I don't need anything. It's I can't rationalize in my budget buying the really nice acrylic ones as much as I wish I could. Um, and maybe that will be one of those goals in the budget once I get some other things taken care of. Um, but for right now, that doesn't make sense. And I guess I'm answering my own question is I should just go buy a paper punch to do like Denise did for me when she sent me those. But I need to get like some of these paper ones are better than others. But like this is the nicer, thicker cardstock. And when I pull sometimes, especially if it gets tangled, they've ripped. I have a couple of them where I've had to go back and repunch holes. Now some of these are really nice and they're thicker and I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with all of the pictures being different. But to be honest, my OCD brain or my ADHD brain probably is a better word choice there. Would really like it if all of my floss drops were all of the same size. And then like some of them have so much writing on the back that it's hard to be able to write. Like I don't look way up here for my numbers. I look here for them. And so like it's hard because then I've got numbers all over. Now, really and Tammy, I know you watch me. These are from Tammy and she closed her shop and I'm so bummed, but like I get it. I get the stress and I get needing to relieve stress. Trust me, I get it. I don't know what cardstock she uses, but like if I could get like 1,000 of these, maybe a smaller hole here though, like about half the size here. If I could get like 1,000 of these, I'd be thrilled. Okay, so anyways, so we did the little bit on Monopoly. So I'm going to start leaving this in the Jeep. And so this will be my car stitch so that like if I'm picking up the kids from school or work that I'll just automatically work on Monopoly. Right now, it just depends on what I grab. Okay, so this is Praiseworthy Stitches, the Simple Gifts Courage Sal pattern that we're selling with Pam from Just Keep Stitching and about a bazillion other people, which I'm totally thrilled with. I am doing mine on Clouds by Atomic Ranch. I will say I love their fabric. Like, it's nice. It's still got a nice structure to it. It's not like completely floppy, but it's a nice soft, like, it's a nice soft Ada. And the colors are just beautiful. So my color is Cloud. And then I am using Threadworks Blue. Forbidden Fiber. It's a number. I forget what the number is. You'd think I would remember it. It's 11383. And I should actually write this on my floss drop. Let me do that before I forget. Because ADHD. So I use that, and then I'm using Forbidden Fiber Co. Pickle because it's the perfect shade of green and it's called Pickle. I've also now added in Blanc from DMC. See, these were my adventure with the Cricut, but it was creating a nightmare, and then it didn't cut half of my circles out, even though my blade was brand new, and I was just like, forget it. And then I am also using DMC 3849. These are the colors for intracranial hypertension. This is the color for PCOS, ovarian cancer, and sexual assault survivors. All three of which, yay me. And then white is one of, there's two choices for miscarriage. One is white, one is pink and blue. So I went with white, given everything else in my piece. Hold please. I have dogs who apparently, I don't know, have been possessed by the devil. Hang on. Okay. So we have officially finished page 1. And we're on, this is page 4, and this is page 2. I love this piece so much. And I did my blue line. That is almost, it's got, it will probably come down to about here. Because that's almost all of page 2 down, or technically it's page 4. So, and then the third page down is only like a quarter of a page. It's not like the full page. So that's my piece so far. Oh, and I guess that's all the way over, if I counted correctly. That's why I didn't start going down. Because y'all know me with counting lately. So that's where we're at. I cannot wait. Oh, you can hardly see them. In person, they're really bright and vivid, and you can tell. But I did add in the little white lily of the valleys. So there won't be much white on mine. The main colors will be the blue and the green and the teal. Or, yeah, teal. So my goal is to finish, obviously, to finish the little tree here, and then this motif here. And then whatever. Then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay. See, this is another one where I have a lot of the flosses on drops, but I don't have enough drops to put all of the threads. So I still have a boatload of floss in here that's not on drops. This is my project for my friend, his parents, well, really for his mom since his dad has passed. And it is the Kate and Dennis piece. It is slated still to, so I finished the goal for Whitco. It was called in July. It's due to be called one more time. So I have started working away on that. I am now over 10% done. Okay, that looks really bad. Okay, so when you're close, here's my concern. When you're close up, I don't know if you can, like, whoa, those colors do not blend. And I'm trying to just trust the process because the picture, they blend and they don't look like she has a skin condition. But right now, he's not looking so good. Again, we're going to trust the process. We're going to trust the process. Because, let me see if, I think my battery might be gone on my tablet. Yes. Oh, nope, it is actually turning on, so we'll see. Um, hang with me. I mean, you're hanging with me now, so I mean, y'all know me. Like, really, you know me by now. Unless you're new here, and then I'm just gonna apologize. But yeah, if you're looking for somebody who's organized, um, it's been really nice meeting you, but that's not me. Um, if you're looking for somebody who will make you feel good about how disorganized your own life is, stick around, baby. Stick around, because we ain't even started on that. So, okay, so my tablet is starting. Really, I don't know why it's taking so long. Um. Oh, so I started to tell you guys. So when I got my Elmo nail polish, I bought it's by Aveeno, and it's a skin cream for my face, because remember that was an issue. And yes, Kim, I know, squirrel, whatever. So it's called like Calm and Restore or something. It's been wonderful for my skin. Love it. Um, that is the big question. Okay, so the other Wipco call that I am still working on, and that I'm actually working on. I'm on the current month, and we may actually finish it. We still need to do 9 more times. We need to stitch on this. I think I can do that. I mean, it's only the 20th. Now that doesn't mean we need to stitch every day on this, but I think we can manage. But that is the periodic table. There is no pattern. It's all made up as I go along. Um, it's on a piece of Ada from Rita Renee. She's on Facebook. It's a 14. I have it on a 14 count Ada. It's in an off white. Um, you're not gonna be able to see, like, okay. So the piece of fabric it's on, for those of you who are new here, is 60 inches tall by 96 inches wide. Yes, yes, you heard me correctly. Don't ask why. Just accept the fact that it is. So, um, since the last time you saw me, I got in this big line across. I have started to bring this line down. I brought this line all the way down to the bottom of that, and I got this over as well. It's a labor of love. I love my kid. I love my kid. Um, okay. The other, I have a frogging pin that's loose, and I keep getting stabbed. There's my frogging pin. It's actually a little frog. I got it at StitchCon. I don't remember who from. Hang on, I got bread falling out of the sky. It's kind of weird. You know what happens when you put the bread away and it's kind of in the bag, but it's not really, the bag's not sealed, and it's kind of in the bread bin, but it's not. The bread falls out of the bag like it's falling out of the sky, and it's a little weird. Okay. What are you making? Your brother is making rice for his sushi bowls. Hopefully he won't mess it up and make it really weird. But I'm not promising, because I'm not making it, and he didn't ask me to make it, so. Okay. So let's see. Okay. See, in the picture, she doesn't look like she has a skin condition. I mean, it is a little, now that I'm looking at it, yeah, it is a little louder than I would have liked. But it's also hard because the picture is very pixelated. It wasn't the best quality picture, but there's nothing, I mean, it is what it is. Okay. So right now, in order to be completely caught up with this month's Whip Go call, I need to stitch on the periodic table 9 more times. That's pretty good. That's where we're at. So right now I have a Whip Go, and if you're keeping up with Whip Go as they're called, you would have a Whip Go going this way and down here. So it will be interesting to see. By the time I see you next, I think Jesse will call September's. And we're down to, it's buffet mat, the periodic table, my modern folk embroidery, or the Jeep Van Gogh. Those are the only ones left still open on my board. So, okay. So here's my big finish. I finished it this morning. I did, while I was on my Zoom seminar yesterday, I did stitch on this because I was so close to a finish. But I did not finish it. I finished it this morning. On Sundays, we do Sing a Song Sampler, or the Do Re Mi Sal with Tina Frazier. We stitched on it on Sundays typically. Now, you could clearly I can stitch on it where I want, and I did that yesterday. But then this morning I got up and I finished it. I also wrote out my conversion. So if you would like my conversion and you did not see, and you're not part of the Stitchers of Silver Creek samplers where I posted it, let me know and I can shoot it off to you. It's not a big deal. But there we go. I love this so much. So much. I think it looks fine without adding in the gear here, or without putting William's name there. And so I don't think I'm going to add anything else. So yesterday I did, between yesterday and today, I did all of the bottom words. But I also went in and I finished the tree and the bunny. I love this piece. I am so happy. So I have not washed it yet. I have not done anything else with it because, like I said, I finished it this morning and I'm not in the mood to wash it yet. So, which means that my plan has always been, after I finish the Sing-A-Song sampler, was to jump into Stocking Sunday. Each one of us picked out a stocking. And so let's see. Well, so Beans is a giant sea turtle, which is not on my tablet for some reason. This is the boy child's, because Beans isn't showing up on my tablet for some reason. Don't know why. This is mine. This is Chloe's. And this will be the Honey's. So I don't have, I looked and I don't have any 14 count Ada. And this is actually, well, this is actually stitched on linen, which is interesting. I love this because it's got the little ornaments with it. But I don't have the fabric for mine or the Honey's, or even And I was thinking for beans, it doesn't matter because beans is actually full coverage. And the boys comes with his. His is stitched on 14 count Aida, which is why I thought I'd do hers on 14 count Aida as well. So that they would be similar sizes. I did, so part of my haul is actually that, yeah, beans is like 50,000 skeins of 964. So I did get in the color variations, and I ordered 2 skeins of each, thinking that that should be fine because it didn't tell me. They're so freaking close to each other. Like, son of a gun. So I ordered that. I got that in, and then the Krynic is in here too, or should be in here. No, the Krynic goes with my merman, I think. But I did get the Krynic in as well. So those are for bean stocking. These are for the honeys and mine. So the question becomes, I don't think, yeah, see this, the Stony Creek ones are not full coverage. And it doesn't tell you, I don't see, or haven't seen, where it tells you what it's stitched, what fabric it's stitched on. Because it looks from the picture like it's shaded. It's not a solid white, and it's not a solid blue. It is definitely a mottled color, whatever it is, but it looks like it's stitched on linen. But I want them all to be about the same size, so I will likely have to buy some Aida. And for the love of the Lord, it is so hot in here right now with him cooking. Yeah. I can also say that on the back of the one on Mr. Claus, there's already 2 more big patterns that I would like to get. Like, as if I need any more patterns, really and truly. So this is a bunch of beach ones. And look at this Afghan. And it says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I need those. The one in here, it's a parrot, and it says, "Forget the crackers. Polly wants a cocktail." Kim, I think we need those. I love Stony Creek. I have their big Halloween Afghan too that I have not started because the last thing I need to do is start another bath right now until some of these get done. So the question becomes, which of the 4 stockings do I start first? And do I just work on that one till it's finished and then do the next one? Or do I start them all and then just assign each one a Sunday in the month, like in a row, like go 1, 2, 3, 4, and work on each one of them like once a month? The other thing I was thinking is that next year, I love how Janet has her queens, like her seasonal queens. And I love a couple of the Celtic ladies from Lavender and Lace. Um, those would be my choice over the queens. I love Janet's queens. Don't get me wrong, Janet. I love your queens. I love watching them come to life. But I really like the Celtic ladies. And some of the conversions on those are just mind blowing. Mind blowing. And so I really like the idea of doing those. I would have to, I don't have the patterns. I think I might have one of them. Um, maybe 2. Clearly, I would start with summer, but that doesn't make sense because I like the idea of stitching them in that season, and maybe they take 3, 4 years, like season. Like, who cares? Um, but I really like that idea, and I was thinking about starting that like maybe at Christmas, because then I'll be done with classes, except for my certification training classes, like certification prep classes. Um, but then that shorts winter a little bit this year if I start this year. Because I don't, but then I could start spring. I don't know. These are the things I think about. As we all know, I think about a lot of things. Okay, so that is all of my stitching. That is all of my knitting progress. I have no sewing project. I mean, I have sewing projects, don't get me wrong. Don't have any sewing progress. I also don't have any crochet progress. I've showed you my haul. I've showed you my... So I think that's it. Um, so I'm still working through a couple different ideas for Whip Go next year. It has been a little hard this year because while I've had some big finishes. I've had some really big finishes and things done. And in fact, if I count each quilt block separately, well, I can't do that, like, because if I do them in chunks, then I don't list them separately, and I don't like I just listed on my list all 5 pillowcases as one line. So between sewing and knitting and that and cross stitch, the way I have it on my sheet, which I guess I should make it consistent. As of right now, the Do Re Mi So was the 44th thing I finished this year. So that's pretty good. So I can't sit here and say I haven't finished anything because I have. But I still feel like I I could finish more. Now that said, I've made some really good progress on some really big things. I've not had a ton of new starts this year that I can recall. If I did, they were small projects and I finished them, like the hippo or the little Jeep or the little truck, that kind of thing. So, I do have Beach Santa that I could work on. I do have my merman that I could work on. I now have the 2 other patterns that I just got. I mean, I could start something new any time. I mean, that's not an issue. So the question is, which stocking do I do? And do I do it like monogamously stitch on each stocking until it's done and then start the next one? Or do I rotate through them? Do I just rotate through the kids' stockings, get those done, and then work on the honeys and mine? Um, and then do I look to do... I don't know. I'm kind of considering not doing Whip Go next year now that I'm like, the more I'm contemplating it, like maybe taking a break. Like it was great and I had a lot of fun, but at the same time, sometimes it completely stressed me out. I don't know. I think I would do the 52 card whip pickup, like maybe. So, we'll see. So with that, anyways, remember, you are beautiful. You are smart. You are amazing. You are loved and you matter. So if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me and I will try and see what I can do. We'll go from there. So, bye, y'all.